Hey guys, it's Short VR, and on VR there's this one game called The Break-In. It's pretty fun, but I thought, what if we mixed it with Gorilla Tag? Sounds crazy, but in this video, that's exactly what we are doing. Okay, here I install XR Interaction Toolkit so that you could actually get like VR and stuff, and then I'm just adding the presets, to action base so that it detects what's your right hand and what's your left hand. So yeah, after I'm done doing that, I head over to the project settings, and I go to the preset manager, and I just put the right controller to right, and then the left controller to left. And then I exit out of that, and here I start adding the gorilla rig, so you could actually move around like a gorilla, you know. Takes a while for me to find that, but yeah. After I find it, I import it, and then it has to load a bit, but yeah. Okay, after it's done loading, I go and put it in the game, like you see me doing right now. Okay. And then I have to change the XR rig to XR origin, because XR rig doesn't work anymore. So after I put XR origin, I just put in gorilla rig, gorilla player, all that stuff. And I have to unpack it, so I don't have to deal with prefab stuff. Yeah, and after I'm done with that, I decide to make just a simple plane so you could actually walk on it and you're not just falling in the void. I move it to the player, and I move the player up a little. Here I'm just adding textures for the floor so it doesn't look empty. I'm adding like a grid texture so it looks like a sandbox, kind of. Yeah. It's way too big, so I edited it a little and I sized the map up. But yeah, here's the finished result of that. I think it's looking pretty good. I add a cube so I could place it around the map so you can have like parkour to jump on. This is not the finished map, but yeah. I end up adding textures and I change the color a little so that it looks brighter and more contrast, more saturation. And then the reason I duplicated the cube is so that you could actually have something else to grab on. And I mean, it's a robbing game. You can't rob without grabbing stuff. So I changed the color to like a gray, but I end up not really liking the tiling, so I change it a little so it fits the cube. That's better. And then I add 4 more cubes. Then I realized I don't have Pro Builder installed, which is just if you want to make like meshes and other stuff. So I'm just importing Pro Builder. Here, I find it and install it. Okay, after it's done installing, I go to the window, I open up the editor, Pro Builder window, and I move it to the side so it doesn't get in my way. And I was thinking about just adding a new object, but I figured it'd be easier if I just duplicated the cube over it and then like Pro Builderized it so I could edit it. I ended up making like a gun because I thought it'd be cool, but the texture didn't really fit it. The color didn't really fit it, so I just changed the color of it. I changed like a darker color so that it would look kind of better. And I don't know, my camera just started tweaking here, bro. Yeah, I add a grab layer so that if I add a grabbing script, or when I add a grabbing script, you could actually, it detects which ones are grabbable and which ones aren't. So I make the grab layer, but I don't know why I just forget to put it on the actual grabbable objects. I had the grabbing script here, but it doesn't work because I need something else called easy inputs, which is the text, like if you're holding down trigger, grip, or your button, stuff like that. So I go back to import that too. Yeah. Takes a while to import. I'll just skip to when it's done. Okay, now it's done. I have to put the grabbing script on the left and right hand controllers. So this is a pretty long part and tedious, so I'll just skip it. Okay. After that, I decided, well, I'll just put in the player model because I have nothing else to do. So there's me putting in the player model. Yeah. Takes a while for me to find it, but then I finally find it. I put it in the game. And then it's way too big, so I have to scale it down a little. Yeah. So once I scale it down, I don't know why, but for some reason I just start inspecting the hell out of the player model. That's kind of sus, bro. Don't you think that's sus? Alright. Okay. So we're done with that. Then I have to put in the textures because I don't want to like white monkey running around. Okay, that's not a racist. But you know what I mean. I don't want a monkey with no textures running around. Gears, done with the textures. I'm putting the face on. And I'm pixelating all the other stuff in a bit. Okay. Here I pixelate all the textures and the normal maps. You don't know what a normal map is? It's kind of what makes the texture look 3D. And then here I'm just messing with the colors. I end up making like a little monkey that wiggles his arms around when you pick him up and like shake him around because I want more stuff to grab and interact with. So yeah, I'm just messing around there. But now is where I start adding the dynamic bone, which is a script that makes the arms like wiggly. But yeah, that's really it for this devlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe because in the next video I'm going to add photon and fix the grabbing because it didn't end up working after the video, so I had to change it. But yeah, get ready for the next devlog. Goodbye.